Well, I want to first of all just say again, I want to thank the Lord again for giving us another opportunity to serve Him today, and also want to really take just a moment here just to really observe Veterans Day and as we celebrate all of our service people who have been involved with the U.S. military, and just want to thank them for what they have given really all of us an opportunity to. In this situation here to play the game of football and the freedom that we have in this country. And on behalf of all of our players and coaches and staff, administrators here at Liberty University, we just want to observe and celebrate all of our U.S. military veterans. Another positive that I think is our fans have been great, been outstanding this football season. They've been energetic throughout the whole ball game. We've had great attendance. I think we're fifth in the average attendance, just around 18,000 as far as averaging per game. I think we're just about almost 90,000 in total attendance here for our first 5 home games. So we appreciate our fans, and we ask them to come on out again here this week as we need your support against a good Charleston Southern team. More specific about the last ball game here, I was really proud of the way we finished in the fourth quarter. That's what I like to see our team continue to do, is what we're going to need to have here in these next 2 ball games that we have set. In the fourth quarter, we played extremely well on defense, special teams, and on offense, scoring 10 points in that quarter. Then also a positive thing is Senior Day coming up. We actually have 16 seniors. It's really 17, including Garrett Long. It's going to be his last year here, so there's 17 that's going to be recognized on Senior Day. I guess the one little thing overall in the group that I can kind of state about them is they have been great in being relentless in working hard every day. I like their approach. I've seen the improvement since the first year I've been here to where they're at today. They have increased the expectation of working hard. Again, sometimes I'm not talking about the physical work, but also just in the work that they coming in as far as in the meeting rooms, and then they're ready and eager to take the information that we're giving to them and ready to go do it. Specifically here, a little bit of Charleston Southern. I got to tip my hat off to Jamie Chadwell. I really recognize him as a very, very good football coach. He's has really done an outstanding job there in the 2 years that he's been there. I think there's a lot of great things that are happening there as far as at the program. Again, in 2 years, he's been outstanding. Offensive, they run a lot of options. They run all different types of options. They do it all different ways and different schemes that they put together to try to get advantage, to get them a chance to have some great perimeter runs. I think offensively here, I think they have thrown the ball a little bit more, or tried to do it a little bit more early on versus kind of been more of a run, then throw. I think they're having a little bit more balance. They're still a little bit more run than they are pass, but I see them going a little bit more to the 3 wides and a little bit of 4 wide receivers than they had last year. The thing that they're concerned about too is time of possession. It seems like they've been able to control the ball quite a bit in their games, and so they give you less opportunities on defense with their time of possession and being able to be very productive. They played 2 quarterbacks. Austin Brown, we did not face him last year. Transfer has done a good job. I think he puts a little bit more of a passing game in him. He seems like a very tough young man as far as being able to run the ball and throw the football. So I would say that he is a dual threat type of a guy. And then on the defensive side, that's probably the one area that has stood out the most as far as what they have accomplished compared to last year to this year. They still do a little bit of 3-4 scheme. As far as their alignment and all that. But, again, when you sit here and say in the scoring defense they're somewhere around the top 10 area, that says a lot, that they know how to get off the field and make some good plays. I'm also concerned as far as on their third down defense. They've been very, very efficient of that. They also been very, very efficient on the first down as far as not allowing a whole lot of total first downs in a game with each opponent. And so when you got that combination of first downs, they not allowing you a whole lot of yards on first down, and then on third down, they're getting off the field. So, again, it talks about you having a very limited amount of time as far as being able to score, because they do a very good job as far as getting off the field. So we got our hands full against their offense, got our hands full against their defense, and they're solid on their special teams. The injury report, Shells is questionable. We'll continue to see how he progresses here as we go through the rest of the week. Macon is available to play this game. O'Grady is probable in this game. And we, as far as another little update, a suspension there with Greg Ray due to the unsportsmanlike conduct there. And then I think the keys to the game, again, you always got the turnover margin. They've been excellent in that area too. So, again, there's a lot of great things you can say about where they're at in Charleston Southern. But I think the one thing that I noticed in the first quarter, they've scored just about, I think it's 89 points to our 34-35, I should say, to the opponents, 34-35 points. And so they get off to a fast start. They get off to a great start in just about every ball game there that they've done, particularly the ones that they've won. Is very, very evident in that aspect. Then I think the other part of it is win on the line of scrimmage. If we win on the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense, it's not necessarily one side or the other. We have to be dominant on both sides, and that's why I say we must win the line of scrimmage. And that's talking about our D-line, our O-line, tight ends have to be great in those areas. So let's open it up to questions.
I just want to clarify. So Ray is suspended the whole game, and that's an internal thing, or was that NCAA? Or how does that work?
All the people involved.
What's
Everybody
that?
involved. You got the conference, you got us coaches, you got the athletic director, all the people involved.
And is it who's going to serve them?
Still up for a discussion here. We're trying to figure out. Probably it's going to be Collison or it could be Grant Jones. We won't make that decision until the end of the week.
It's the whole game, though, right?
Greg Ray, yeah. He's suspended for the whole game. He's suspended for this game.
Let's go back to the Brevard game a little bit. I know you had some trouble defending the option in that game. I know CSU doesn't run the same triple option offense, but they run enough principles of it. Did you learn something from that Brevard game that might help you this week?
Every game you learn something, I can tell you that for sure. So we'll put together a great game plan. Again, there's no excuse per se. We probably kept it a little bit more simple as far as against Brevard from that standpoint. But again, it's still we got to make plays when we had to make it. So we've learned from it. And the other big thing is we have played them last year. Again, they've tweaked a little bit. But again, I think we'll have some things here that can help us to be a little bit better on defense.
Staying with that point, with their rushing game, they use maybe about 3 backs. I guess they try to keep backs healthy. Can you just talk about the challenge that presents with them trying to pound the ball and late in the game, things of that nature?
Yeah, I think they, I think it starts off with I'm going to say his fullback. He's not necessarily totally a fullback there as far as Reyes, Christian Reyes. He does a great job. I think they kind of have changed a little bit. Like I said, they're going to throw the ball a little bit more in the pass. It used to be a little bit more inside, working to the outside as far as starting the inside run, then go to the outside run. I think they're a little bit more outside run and throwing the football, then going to the inside run. Again, they continue to mix that up, and I think that caused a little bit more a more effectiveness for them because the defense has to be a little bit more spread out. They got to be a little bit more sound on what we're doing because they're all throwing the ball a little bit more than they have in the past. So it's a tough challenge. They have a very, very detailed offense. They're very creative. They do a lot of different things of how they block their schemes. They always changing it up, and so they make you make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. If you got anything about a foot off or a yard off, that's when they can have some big plays.
I know you told me after the game on Saturday you were pleased with your coach's ability to adapt in the second half and make some changes. What were some of the defensive scheme changes that you guys were able to do?
Well, I think part of it was secondary-wise did a couple of things that are a little different than I think also on the defensive front. Stunts and different things are there, what they were doing, and a little bit of an alignment. Again, you always got to make some adjustment in every ball game. Some may be a little bit more drastic than others because they may do something different than what they have shown on tape, and that was kind of a little bit of the case here, both offensively and defensively. They did some things that had not shown in the previous ball game. So you got to come on the sideline, you got to come at halftime, and we all got our basic principles of what we need to do and how we need to do it. It's just that you may not have practiced it that week. You may have done it the previous weeks, or you've done it in preseason, and you got to come back and bring those things back together to remind your players of some of the things that maybe you had worked on, and now you need to do it a little bit more seriously in the ball game. So that's what happened on offense and defense, that we made some adjustment. We just hadn't done a whole lot of that in the last couple of games, scheme-wise.
Coach, can you talk about your workhorse, DJ Abnard, 39 rushes last week. Did you plan to rush him as much as you did?
I can't say we were sitting here trying to say we were going to get him 30 carries, 35 or whatever. We, again, a game plan. I thought that did a good job of running the football. We wanted to establish that pretty heavy. The good thing about it was we were very productive on some of the third downs, and we kept the chain moving. We didn't have as many explosive plays, but we had enough to get some things done. So proud of our offensive line, our tight ends doing a great job of blocking, and then also some of your receivers. They got to come in and do some blocking. But, again, his body is holding up very well, very well, and he's a tough young man, and he's done a great job there for us.
You mentioned, I guess, Todd Macon is available. How do you see him fitting into the rotation and the boost that that'll bring to the running game?
Well, I think it's just a matter of how we see him practice here in the next 3 days, how much availability, or if he's available at all. I say he's available now because he's been cleared by the doctor, and now it's up to us as coaches to say, is he ready to play, and then how much will he play? And so we won't answer that until the end of the deal. He may not even play at all. We may stay with Kegler and go from there, but we've gotten the okay from the doctor that he is released and ready to play. Now it's up to our decision.
Kind of advantage is it having a guy like Gabe Henderson, who is a former quarterback, guy that knows the system inside and out, and he seems to be able to just kind of improvise and make plays out there for you?
Well, he's been very productive, as we kind of use a term or a phrase, I guess, a critical situation. How many opportunities that some of our players, as we keep chart of that, is who made some critical situation plays, offense or defensive. And I think he's probably been one of those guys that's been very, very good in that aspect of it. And then a lot of his third down, or it's late in the game where he made a great catch or something on first down, second. It didn't matter what the down is, but he makes a play for us. And so that's good. What we wanted to do is say, you may not have all the catches, you may not score as many touchdowns or whatever, some of the things that are a little bit more glorified, but you are just as important as anyone else on this football team. And so he's accepted that role. He understands his role. It's very important. And he's been very, very productive and very pleasing to see him make that adjustment as a quarterback to a receiver. And he did it definitely last year, and this year he's very solid in running his routes and doing a very, very good job to keep us moving the chains and scoring touchdowns.
Coach, a lot of folks want to look ahead to the end of the season showdown with Coastal Carolina. Can you just talk about, in your mind, the significance of this week before you get to Coastal Carolina?
The only significant is that's who we playing, Charleston Southern. Against myself, it's not really thinking about Coastal, and this game is significant because it's the next ball game. And we're always trying to win every single football game that we can, and that's really the significance of this game, is that it is the next opponent. They're a very, very good football team. We got to play our best football game that we played this year. They're very good in every phase. They've improved in every phase, and so that's what gets my attention, is that they have improved in every phase from last year to this year. And, again, I think we've improved too, and that's why it's going to be a great football game.
How concerned are you after what Monmouth did with Petey of teams starting to really emphasize taking him away?
Not concerned. Charleston Southern did it last year. They took him away, and so we've shown that we can still score points. We scored 34 points or whatever last week, and we've scored 40 or 50 in the previous time when people have done that. So I'm not concerned. We expect that every game, so it's not a shock to us if it happens. We're already adjusted and move on. So we're almost shocked the other way if they don't. As far as that goes. So our coaches do a great job. Our players are well prepared, and we're ready to play and win as a team.
Just to follow up on that, Gabe mentioned that the PD had a productive game otherwise last week, even though he wasn't getting the targets and whatnot. In what ways, when you went back and looked at the film, was
Running
he
his
productive?
routes and his blocking, I probably would say his blocking improved. So he did what he's supposed to do as far as a team. It wasn't like, well, I'm not getting the ball and he wasn't blocking, or he didn't finish his routes, even though he did not get a ball thrown to him. So he did what he's supposed to do, and that's what we tell everybody. So that's what he meant by that.
You said he just got cleared, so yesterday was that like his first time practicing, since he's been injured?
No, he's been. I say last week he got a few reps. This was officially, I guess, yesterday, as far as the doctors approving him to play. But he did some practices last week. We didn't have him in a lot of practice. We limited him, is probably the best way to say it. He maybe only went one of our team works versus the whole practice. We just limited him some reps based off of what the doctors had instructed us to do. So he's been out there a little bit, just haven't been out there fully. Today he'll be all full.
How about Erwin DeSource? Is he back?
Yes, he's back.
Okay.